Welcome back to the Harkava podcast, and welcome to day 4 of our 12-day journey through the portals of the beginning of the month of Nissan. So each day we're planting a seed here, one that corresponds to a different tribe, a different month, and a different aspect of who we are becoming in this next cycle that we're entering. And today we're being asked to look, not just glance, not just scroll, not just peek around the corners of our lives, but look fully, honestly, and with courage. Because today is the day of Reuven, and the month that corresponds to it is Tammuz. And the name Reuven literally means see, a sun. Reuben. There's something about being seen and about seeing that is baked into Reuven's essence. He was the firstborn, the one who opened his mother's womb, the first ripple in what would become a nation, but he was also a deeply emotional soul. He made mistakes. He tried to fix things. He was almost even tender and often misread or misunderstood. And something about that feels really human and really familiar. So Reuven reminds me of the part of us that wants to get it right, that feels things really intensely, that sees something wrong and tries to fix it, even when maybe we don't yet have the tools to do that properly. So his story includes trying to rescue Yosef from the pit and then not succeeding. It includes reacting impulsively, wanting to protect, but acting prematurely. Seeing is powerful, but it's not always enough. And that brings us to Tammuz, which is the month that's often associated with tragedy and with unraveling. It's when the walls of Yerushalayim were breached, and it's the beginning of a descent that ends weeks later with the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash and Av. But the thing is that destruction doesn't happen overnight. There are cracks first. There are signs, there are tiny breaches, and sometimes we ignore those little signs because we don't necessarily want to face what they mean, right? So Tammuz invites us into the kind of seeing that prevents collapse. Not just in a literal city wall, but in ourselves, in our homes, in our relationships, in our choices. And so today the invitation is simple, but it's not easy. It's, where am I being called to look clearly and lovingly and honestly at what is, not just what I want it to be. Because we're really good at covering our own eyes sometimes. We rationalize and maybe we say it's not that bad, and we'll convince ourselves that we'll deal with it after Pesach or after the next thing or once life quiets down. You know, the meme of saying next week will be quieter until you die, right? That's adulthood. And we try to really convince ourselves that we'll have time to deal with this later, but Reuven energy is about choosing to witness something before it gets so bad that we have no choice. So here's the twist. It's not about witnessing so that we can fix. It's about witnessing so that we can stay in relationship with ourselves and with the people around us and with our bodies and with Hashem. And it's about practicing emotional honesty and holding that honesty with compassion. Because sometimes we see something and we immediately get into fix-it mode. And if we've ever had, a relationship or a conversation with someone we care about where we're talking and we really just want to be seen and they immediately go into fix-it mode, that doesn't always feel good, right? Can we witness something and stay with it, sit with it, be emotionally honest with it, but not use that thing as a weapon? Not turn self-awareness into a self-attack, but instead say, yes, I see that this is part of me. I see this pattern. I see this avoidance. And I still choose to love myself through it. Tammuz often gets like a really bad rap. And yeah, the energy can be heavy and it can be intense, but it's also really rich. Because anything that invites us to witness what's real is ultimately a doorway into healing. And not just personal healing, but also collective healing. A doorway to Geula. Like, what would happen if we had the courage to see our communities more clearly, to name the gaps, to acknowledge the parts of our culture and our systems and our families that are cracking under the weight of silence? So it's not about judgment, but it's about compassionate witnessing, and that starts with ourselves. So if you're able, I invite you to close your eyes and bring one hand to your heart and the other to your belly, and breathe slowly. Let your body settle. And imagine that there's a soft mirror in front of you. Not one that critiques or compares, but one that sees. And in this moment, just let yourself ask, what's ready to be seen today? We're not going to rush to fix this. We're not going to rush to change it. We're just going to see. And then say softly to yourself, I can see this, and I still love myself. Breathe. Say it again if you need to. I can see this, and I still love myself. You might feel some resistance around this, and that's okay. That's part of it. Sometimes we've been so afraid of seeing the truth because we were never taught how to deal with it gently. But we're learning. We're learning now. Your body's learning too. That seeing things isn't dangerous. We don't have to shove things under the rug. We can compassionately witness ourselves and those around us without rushing in to try to fix something. Right? We're learning from that Reuven energy here to see and sit with it. To figure out what the right approach is after we fully witness the situation. That honesty is a kindness. That softness can be a superpower. And so today, as we prep for Pesach, or we fold another load of laundry, or we answer one more round of, do I really have to clean my room today? Let this be playing in the background of your heart. I can see what's real and still be whole. I can notice the cracks and stay present. I can love the parts of me that are still healing while honoring the parts of me that already shine. I'm going to give you a journaling prompt in the show notes for this. And then I'll see you tomorrow on day 5, where we're going to explore the fire of Shimon and the month of Av and what it means to turn fierce emotions into fierce love. But for now, be gentle, be honest, be kind, and be seen. And I will see you tomorrow.